In addition to the range and different equipment available to you in Door Kickers 2, it also gives you different ammo type options for guns of the same caliber. For example, 5.56 rifles like the M16, M4, and Mark 18 carbine can use the standard M855 green tip, M855A1, and Mark 318 Sucks ball ammo. But which is the best loadout for an assault trooper in any scenario? Stay tuned for all this and more. Starting off with our setup. Most enemies in this game do not wear any body armor. However, some units do have body armor. But you most likely will be able to tackle them with ease by applying a little bit of tactics. Unlike in Door Kickers 1, where it would take a whole squad mag dumping a guy wearing a level 3 plate carrier just to take him down. So I wanted to test if different weapons and or ammo have different effects on armored opponents. On the left are standard unarmored grunts, in the middle are light armored, and the right are heavy armored. Theoretically, anything that can counter heavy armor will also counter light armor, so I eventually stopped testing that as a factor, but it might be worth revisiting. Another thing to note is that there is a good deal of RNG involved, especially when suppression due to enemy fire is involved. Bear in mind that more tests than shown were done in order to draw my conclusions. Also, troopers were rotated between sides during testing, just to make sure that trooper levels weren't interfering with the test results. To start off, we'll be using the M16A4, with two groups of 4 troopers. On the left to right will be the 855, A1, Mark 318, and a Mark 318 with hollow sight. The short answer here is that different ammo types have a marginal difference in the M16. If you take a look at a Steam guide by Random Han, based off of values from the game's config files, we'll find the reason for this, as the damage difference is only marginal, leaving it entirely up to the RNG of your trooper's accuracy. This is fairly realistic, as the M16 was intended to use the M855 ammo, with newer ammo types being developed to improve the performance out of shorter rifles, like the M4 and Mark 18, as they started to replace the M16 during the War on Terror. The M4 is an all-around workhorse. It's short and maneuverable to have good speed during CQB, while also retaining the high damage to take down enemies at medium range. Based on the stats alone, the Mark 318 appears to be the obvious winner due to its higher shot damage. However, the M855A1 has a higher critical damage chance. The most definitive conclusion from testing is that the standard M855 is the clear loser, while the difference between the A1 and Mark 318 tends to be up to RNG. But I'd rather go for reliable damage output than a slightly higher random chance to one-hit enemies. The Mark 18 carbine is the best option for your close, in-your-face CQB operations. However, its performance will drop off severely past 15 meters. Once again, the M855 is the clear loser. However, the Mark 318 appears to perform worse than the A1 against enemies wearing body armor. The Mark 17 has 2 variants for assaulters, the carbine and CQC. The carbine can be considered analogous to the M16, and the CQC variant to the M4, just slower and with less ammo capacity. The Mark 17 has one ammo option, the M80. It is the highest damage output per shot of any assaulter ammo. However, it does not appear to have any higher armor penetration than any of the 5.56 ammo. As there is only one ammo type, these tests were done using the 2 carbine variants on the left and 2 CQC variants on the right. The main difference appears to be that the CQC engages targets slightly faster than the carbine, however, at a penalty to damage and accuracy. So you might as well just go for the M4 with the Mark 318 for close engagements, and then just leave the Mark 17 carbine to watch longer flanks, while also supporting an assault where you wouldn't normally employ a marksman. Finally, we have the MP5 with lower shot damage, lower armor pen, and less range than the Mark 18. A great example of why pistol caliber SMGs don't really have a good place anymore when modern short-barreled rifles and PDWs exist. The only good reason to use the MP5 in Door Kickers 2 is for the SD variant, to stealthily clear areas, or just to roleplay. The M1152 FMJ does have slightly higher armor pen than the other 9mm ammo types, but it's still lower than a rifle, with lower damage than hollow points, so then why would you even use it? The hollow points also have the benefit of being subsonic, meaning that they have a smaller detection radius when shooting suppressed, while also having the highest damage. The main thing I took away from all this is that M855 pretty much sucks. There's really no reason to use it when it doesn't cost anything to use the other ammo types. The M4 with the Mark 318 is the best all-around performer. Just cover longer angles with specialists and take your time when engaging armored opponents, and you should be just fine.